Hello, everybody. My name is Nixxiom, and this is Mr. Wow Crendor.
Hey.
We are together at last, the two nerds.
Yes.
And today, we're going to do something pretty special, I think.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about it?
I do.
Okay.
So
Do.
when we've talked about this, I was like, I'll try a cigar, and you'll try wine.
Yeah.
All right. And so I got you some wine.
Yeah.
I got a good wine, and I got a bad wine.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have you taste them both.
Okay.
And then the cigar, I actually already tried,
Yeah, I had him smoke a cigar.
and
He got insomnia.
I got insomnia, which is about right for me trying things.
It was a mild cigar. Okay, it wasn't anything like
Which-
strong.
Listen, you see me?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty thick compared to you.
You
I
are.
mean,
Like, I go to the gym, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't make my wrists and like forearms get bitter. It doesn't
Yeah.
make them get bitter either.
yeah.
But you know,
Yeah, we gotta get you to try pipe smoking at some point though.
yeah,
I got him a pipe as a gift, and pipe smoking is much even lower than a mild
Yeah.
cigar.
it's probably what I would like then.
Yeah, you
So I'll
probably
give
like
that a try at some point.
But I'm gonna be smoking a cigar.
Hmm.
He's gonna be sipping wine. I'm gonna try wine because I don't drink wine like at all because I think alcohol is nasty personally, and we're gonna see if it's what I think. So I've got two glasses here, and what should I do first? Should I light up first or?
I think you should taste these first, because that the tobacco and everything might make it taste different.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
so-
a good point.
Let's see. Which one you drinking first?
I'm grabbing this one first.
All right. So
All right.
how you taste wine, right?
I know how to taste wine. First, you aerate it.
You aerate it.
You just kind of.
I've already actually aerated them with my aerator.
What?
But
What's
there's
it?
like a little aerator. You plug it into the bottle, and it helps the oxygen aerate it. But it's still good to aerate it.
Okay.
Now, some people are like, why do you want to aerate the wine? Doesn't oxygen make it like taste bad? Well, yes, but over time. So like if you keep aerating it, it'll eventually taste bad. It's kind of like how fruit starts unripened, then it gets ripe, and then it gets old, and then it gets bad. So it's the same with wine.
Okay.
So you're looking for that nice thing. So you swirl it, you give it a smell. So what do you smell?
A sweaty smell?
No, what do you smell?
Oh, what do I smell? I was like a sweaty smell.
What do you smell?
I smell a red wine. I smell.
Right.
Smells like red wine. I don't know, like cherries,
Okay.
red.
Really get your nose in there, like.
Yeah, smells like red wine.
All right.
I don't
So-
know how else to describe it. It just smells like red wine.
So now,
Shall I smell the other one now? And
now-
then I can guess which one's better.
all right, yeah, you can do that.
All right,
So let's try.
let's try that.
All right, try the other one.
We're trying not to be too loud, by the way.
Yeah, because it's like midnight, and we're trying to not wake everyone up around here.
All right, so this is the other glass. This one has a lot more wine in it, so it's like, oh, let's aerate it. Okay.
Yep. So now,
Okay.
just get in there. Don't even like
Oh.
do this. Like,
Oh.
really get in.
This one doesn't smell as strong as that one.
Okay.
This one, I don't know. This one smells nowhere near as strong as that one.
All right.
This one kind of smells like that. This one smells like red wine, and this one smells like Dimetap.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a-
Dimethate?
It's a medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try both of these, and I'm gonna guess which is the more expensive wine and which is the crappier one.
Okay. So you want to taste it by smelling as you drink. So like, and as you do that, you want to, and then you drink.
Oh God, that. Whoa. Oh God. What did that taste like?
Mm-hmm.
It did not taste like what I expected it to taste like. It didn't taste like alcohol. It just tasted like. I don't think I've ever tasted anything like that before.
Mm.
It was like, was it good? No. But was it bad? It didn't taste like alcohol. I mean, I could, if I was a fancier person, I could see myself drinking that while I was like eating food.
All right.
Let me try the other one now.
Yeah, try the other one now.
The one that actually smells like wine.
All right.
To me.
I've got it's beginning to look a sloth-like Christmas mug.
I actually forgot one of your presents at my house. I got you a sloth coffee mug.
Oh, man. Well.
Okay, so yeah, so this just tastes like, it smells like red wine, like what I've smelled before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. Okay. That one again didn't taste how I thought it was going to taste.
Okay.
It doesn't have like a strong alcohol taste to it. It just tastes like a really bad fruit drink. It's like a fruit drink that has gone completely stale.
All right.
100% stale.
So which one do you think is which? Which one do you think was $50 and which do you think was $8?
Okay, so this one tasted like just a really bad fruit drink.
Mm.
This one tasted like... Man, I don't even know what that tasted like. It's like I want to taste it again to try to... But I like don't. Because I was like, ugh. But I feel like I should.
All right.
I feel like I shouldn't be a pussy. I should just do it.
I feel like after you do that, then you should try it with the cigar and see if that changes anything.
All right, yeah, because I'm gonna light up a cigar and then we're gonna talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, like it smells like. I don't like it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Oh God, I went down the wrong way.
It tastes like. It's like a grape. And like a wood or something. Like a wood.
You're
flavor.
describing wine.
Yeah.
Grapes and wood.
Yeah, like it tastes like wood. And I'm assuming because wine barrels.
Mm.
Which one do I think is the more expensive? I feel like this is the more expensive one because that one just tasted like what I expected wine to taste like. Like a really nasty fruit drink. This one tastes like a nasty fruit drink that's been in a barrel for a very long time. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Yeah, dude.
At least you got it right.
Yeah, dude, I'm smart. Listen, I might not be a wine drinker, but I am a connoisseur.
So this one,
Tell me about it.
one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
I had it at a restaurant. They're like, here, I'll show off the bottle.
Okay, show it off.
So this one is the Prisoner Red.
Okay.
Let me,
It's got like a fancy classical painting on the front of it, so that's how you know it's good. Oh, it's gonna be totally out of focus. It doesn't autofocus. It doesn't autofocus.
you can look it up online.
Yeah.
So, okay. This one is a 2018 Napa Valley red wine from Oakville, California. Very good. Prisoner is like a brand. They make a lot of good wines. I've had their Thorn wine. It's a really good Malbec. This is just like a red blend, but I like it. And they're all very expensive.
Yes.
Not like $100, but like between 30 and 60. So
Nice.
I don't buy them all the time, but when I do, it's an occasion.
Yeah.
The other wine.
Well, this is an occasion.
The other wine is a
There it is.
Yellow Tail.
It's just like a camel.
It's a kangaroo.
Yeah, or
Camel. It is a
shut up.
yellowtail Pinot Noir, 2019 by the Casella family in Australia.
That's why there's a camel on the front.
Soft and velvety with hints of cherries, red berries, and sweet spice. So this wine's like $6 or $7.
Yeah.
And like it's not like if you're looking to get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not bad, but it's bad.
Yeah.
While this wine is like you said, it tastes like people put effort.
Yeah, like I can immediately tell that the better wine, the more expensive wine, it tasted like I don't know how to put it. It's just like it has that like barrel taste to it. Mm-hmm. That I'm like, oh, like this is kind of what you would expect out of something that's kind of fancy. It's like, when you drink like an expensive whiskey, it just tends to have a better taste. Or when you smoke like a more expensive cigar. Because I'm going to talk about this bad boy in a second.
All right.
Because see, Crendor is the wine person.
Yeah.
And I'm the cigar person. That's how it works.
Yeah.
He knows his wines, and I know my cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad I got you to drink some wine.
Yeah, dude. I'm happy to share it. So, should I start my little rant about cigars?
Mm-hmm.
This, my friends, is a Le Bajau 1922. Actually, wait, no. Oh, it's not. Oh, I picked up the wrong cigar. Oh. Well, you know what? This is the Judge.
Oh.
Okay, now it's the same exact. It's my father, a Garcia cigar. This is the Judge. I have never smoked a Judge before. But I meant to grab out of my humidor, and it looks just like this cigar, so I just grabbed the one by mistake. It was a 1922 Le Bajau. That cigar has a very special story behind it because, number one, it's always voted one of the top 10 cigars every year. It's fantastic. But it has a very special place in my heart because a long time ago when Friend got his gallbladder taken out, I was like, dude, I'm going to make an ASMR video for Crendor so he'll feel better. He can listen to it. So I grabbed this random cigar off the shelf. I didn't know nothing about cigars, like milds and mediums and all that stuff. I didn't know nothing. So I grabbed this random cigar off the shelf in 1922, and I smoked it. And in the beginning of that video, if you look it up online, like Nixxiom smoking in the backyard or something, I light up that cigar, and I'm like, ooh, this is a strong cigar. And at the end of that video, after I was done recording it, I stood up, and I was like, dude, I'm like 10 times higher than I should be. There's cigars in, and then there's oh, wow. And that was the second time in my life I ever got cigar sick, and it was bad. I was in the living room, on the couch, going, just drooling on my shirt. I couldn't move. It was bad. But, fun fact, the 1922, a few years later, when I actually learned how to smoke cigars better and I understood what I was smoking, it wasn't just a random thing off the shelf. One day, me and my friend, we were going to go get cigars. And I was like, what was that cigar that I smoked that I got super cigar sick on? And we looked it up. We watched the video again because I say in the video, oh, it's a 1922. And then we went to the cigar shop and I got that cigar and I smoked it. And I smoked it. I wasn't BSing it. I actually took my time with it. I enjoyed it. And it instantly became one of my favorite cigars. And there's a reason why it's always voted in the top 10s. And this thing, the Judge, it's a very similar cigar. It's made by the same people. The wrapping is the same, whatever, but I've never smoked one of these, so you're going to get to experience my, I guess now it's my first impressions of the Judge.
All right.
Because I've never had this.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So I'm going to light up, and you can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
All right. Well, I can talk about how yesterday I tried a cigar.
Yeah,
This is the one I tried.
He didn't get very far.
I didn't get very far.
Yeah.
And it still messed me up.
It did.
I mean, it's the type of thing where if it was a big celebration, if it was a wedding or a birthday, a graduate, someone's like, "You want a cigar?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Right.
But that's the main way I'd smoke it.
Just always ask especially if that cigar is messing you up. That's a mild. That's a super mild. Oh, just be sure to ask. Hey, how strong is this cigar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
This band is pretty tight.
with alcohol, I definitely have more of a tolerance that I've built up. With weed, I've built up more of a tolerance as I've had more and more weed. But like, I think we talked about weed stories before once.
We did.
But one time when I was like,
do you want to smell this?
all right.
You remember how to smell a cigar?
Hey, smell the outside.
Smell the outside first. That's right. Smell it. Okay.
Oh my god.
And now smell the inside.
Okay.
So this is a more expensive cigar than that, and it's also going to be stronger. Not to cut you off, but you can always not all the time, but you can tell the strength of a cigar. Like if it's really light colored, it's called a Connecticut. They're usually very mild. A darker cigar is going to be a full body, but this is more of a medium. Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you know if it's medium or strong as I smoke it. Continue, please.
So yeah, it was just like, I remember with edibles especially, I tried an edible, and they were like, oh, it's like, usually can take 1 square. And I was like, 1 square? That sounds like a lot. So I did 3/4 of a square. And I was feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Yeah. I was like, we were watching Harry Potter, and I remember I was like jittering. I was like visibly shaking, and I was like, I think that's too much. And meanwhile, there's people that they'll like take the whole thing and be like, I don't feel anything. So it's kind of just to each their own. Also, you having fun over there?
Yeah. Shouldn't have left these lighters in the garage last night.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire it.
I'll just do it nice. I just gotta do it nice and slow. You get a lot of ASMR of me lighting. Please continue. Oh wait, I got it. I just needed to heat it up.
So anyway,
I'll tell my stories.
So yeah, it's one of those things where I've never been one to be like, I want to get blazed, man, or like I want to get drunk or like whatever, but I just like the buzz, you know? Just a nice chill out buzz feeling, just like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Doing a V cut for those that know what that is.
I also, with cigars, I noticed that I like the smell of cigars more than I like the taste of cigars, but I feel like it's an acquired thing.
It's an acquired taste.
Because I was saying how it's the same with wine or coffee. A lot of people, especially coffee, they're like, oh, I love the smell of coffee, but I don't want to drink coffee. And I'm like, dude, I love coffee. I love the smell and the taste of coffee. And it's the same way with this wine. Like how when you taste this wine, you're just like, ugh. When I tasted it, like when I was like, oh, this is the wine, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Like I just right away that taste, like the smooth, because a lot of bad wines, they leave that like medicine-y aftertaste, while this is smooth, this goes down. And it was kind of the same with whiskey. So I remember I had a $200 whiskey in the UK at CoxCon. Because that's when all the nerds were out and they're like, oh, try this thing. And then they're like, yo, I bought this whiskey. It's $200. And then they're like, 200 pounds, mate. So we drank it and I was like, dude, this tastes like a barrel. But like a really good barrel.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And now I feel like I could never have any other whiskey. Because that was like, I don't think I'm ever going to buy a $200 whiskey. So, how's it taste?
Well, usually when you taste a cigar, you don't really judge its taste in like the first like half centimeter of its burn. Because they just say you just don't do that. But so far, I will say this. First, let me say this. I know someone's going to leave a comment. I told you this yesterday when you tried your first cigar. Right here, dude. People get so anal about lighting a cigar with lighters. People get so anal about it because they're like, oh, you got to use a match. You got to use a match. Now, the thing is, I always say this. The thing is that people that get on cigar smokers about using a lighter to light a cigar, they always have one thing in common. They don't smoke cigars. They don't. Because if they did, what they would say is they wouldn't say, oh, I see you're using a lighter. they would say, but are you using an odorless fuel? Same thing with matches. You wouldn't just use a normal match. You use an odorless match. That's right.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. Because you don't want like the gas smell to alter the taste, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What does this thing taste like so far? Let me tell you about it. First thing. When a cigar gets a little bit stronger, okay, you know how like you're talking about like, like the barrel taste?
Mm-hmm.
Cigars, as they get stronger, not all strong cigars, but in many cases, like a Punch Diablo, whatever, cigars will start to have a bit of a peppery taste to them. It'll taste like you're smoking black pepper. Especially like, oh my god, you smoke like a Punch Diablo, for example. That thing is like, I mean, it's like smoking like a pepper thing, like a little pepper shaker. At least in the beginning, then it just turns into like a nice, like rich, like fudge chocolate cake the entire way. Love it. It's one of my favorite cigars. This one so far, first thing I'll say about it, has a fantastic draw. Very easy to like pull the smoke into the mouth. You do not inhale cigar smoke, by the way. For those that don't know, you're not inhaling it, you're just tasting it. It's got a great draw. Very easy to breathe in, or well, pull into the mouth. In terms of taste, it has a little bit of a peppery taste to it, but not too bad. Not to the point that it's overpowering. It has like it almost has a very similar taste to that. It kind of has like a bit of a barrel taste to it. It's got like a nice rich wood taste. I'm not really tasting anything else at the moment, but I just started. But so far, the things that I noticed in the beginning when I start smoking a cigar is just how good is the draw, how good is the smell. It smells fine. I mean, it smells like a decent cigar. And so far, it's good. But it's definitely, I can already tell. I mean, I'll look it up on my phone, but this is definitely, I would say, I can already tell this is probably, if I was to guess, maybe a medium to full cigar. You want to try it?
I don't want to try.
Just one puff.
I don't want.
Are you sure?
I'm paused.
Okay. Are you sure though? I don't think one puff will mess you up.
I don't know. I don't trust it. I want to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, man. He was up all night.
It was one of those things where like I went to bed at my normal time, and I was laying there, and I could feel a little bit more anxious than I normally was, and I was like, I don't think I did anything, but then I was like, maybe it's the cigar, and I looked it up, and they were like, oh yeah, nicotine can, because it's not a, what do you call it, depressant like alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like a suppressant, or is it suppressant, or whatever makes you like more energetic.
Okay.
So they said it can cause a lot of anxiety or insomnia in people. But I'm sure in like people that can handle stronger stuff more, it probably doesn't affect you as much as some. Plus, I also have anxiety. So I think that's also why I like wine more.
Yeah.
Or like beer or whatever, because it's more of a like, whoa, it's calming my nerves.
Yeah.
So that's also just me. So I think it's just preferences.
Your body, you've never smoked before, have you?
Just weed.
Just weed. Yeah. But you've never like smoked anything nicotine. Yeah, so like when you smoke a cigar, like you really are not getting that much nicotine because you're not inhaling it. It's not like a cigarette. You're getting like nothing, and that's why you experience what's called like the cigar zen, where you're not high, you're just kind of like chill. You're just kind of mellowed out a little bit. You're just like, yeah, you know. It's a great, I mean, this thing is like the perfect tool for like having like a conversation about theology, politics, religion. It's the perfect tool for it because it puts you in that perfect, calmed down, relaxed mind where you can like really articulate your thoughts. You might even notice as I smoke this more and more, I'm probably going to slow down in how I talk. I won't be like really energetic. I'm just going to be like, yeah, like this is what I think. This is how I feel. Like blah, blah, blah. It's really good. But the point is maybe it could be the cigar. Maybe you just had a bad night. But if it is the cigar, it wouldn't surprise me because if you've never actually had nicotine, even a little bit, like your body might just not be used to it.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. This thing is sweet. This thing tastes like I feel like kind of holds hands with that 1922 a little bit. Or no, it doesn't. I actually it holds hands a little bit with the Punch Diablo. I feel because this thing just tastes like I'm eating chocolate cake. Tastes like chocolate cake. Peppery taste is gone already. Maybe my mouth's gotten used to it. It's nice.
You should try the wine now. See if it changed.
Oh God, I feel like I have to.
You gotta.
Okay.
It's just experimental.
That's true. Which wine? The shitty wine or the good wine?
Probably the good wine.
Okay. Yes, pairing cigars and wine, or like especially cigars and whiskey, or like scotch, whatever is. It's like, or coffee. Coffee's the big one. Like
I did notice when I had coffee with it yesterday, it did improve the taste of it.
Wait, let me do this.
Which, come to think of it, it's kind of the same with caffeine. Like, I can very easily drink caffeine and, like, go to bed and be like, whatever. But I've also drank coffee since I was, like, 18. Like, every day. So I think my tolerance to caffeine is so high. While somebody that doesn't drink a lot of caffeine and coffee could drink it and they'll be up all night, like, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's similar in that aspect.
So that definitely did bring out the taste a bit. Like, how do I describe it to the viewer? Because it's a new experience for me too. I don't drink wine. The cigar by itself has like that kind of like chocolatey taste to it, but it's like kind of like a woody chocolate. I mean, it's not like you're smoking like a Hershey's Kisses bar or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like kind of like a wood chocolate. And when I drank this, or when I sipped it and kind of swished it around a little, even though it was just a little bit, it's not like I'm doing like big gulps or anything, it really like brought out that wood taste more. Yeah, it was kind of like, but it's different. It didn't taste like the barrel from this, and it didn't taste like maybe the almost like kind of like oaky taste of this. It was like something else. I actually want to do it again.
That's one thing is, especially wine pairings with food, because there's a lot of red wines are good with like red meat, like steak, hamburger, like whatever, and then white wines are typically better with like chicken and fish, and that type of thing. 'Cause they're like lighter wines. So it's just that pairing alone. Like if you're looking for really simplistic pairings, it's like white wine, chicken, fish, and then red wine, like dark meat, or red meat, and then like chocolate. Red wine's really good with chocolate and stuff like that.
I'll say that it makes like the, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's like I want to be like, oh, try it, but you know, it's almost like it completely gets rid of like the alcohol taste, any other taste out of the wine, and it's like you just drank a barrel, like you're just drinking like liquid wood, and it's just going down like that.
Interesting.
It's pretty nice. I mean, I'm not really a massive fan of it,
but it's better than any
but
wine you've had.
but it made the wine taste better.
Okay.
Like I mean, I took 2 sips there. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. And I took another one. I'm not gonna take a third, but I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That was my goal, to make you appreciate the wine.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly like. I don't drink wine, but I certainly appreciate it because like wine sipping, or you know, whether you're drinking like whiskey or moonshine or like cigars, like they all kind of have this like, I don't know, they're like a weird family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sip drink. Well, like beer, a lot of people like chug beer, like beer, but like wine, you don't really chug wine. Some people probably chug wine, but you know, you're not gonna chug this type of wine. You're gonna sip it and like appreciate it.
Man, this is a good cigar. And now, like that I've drank the wine, the cigar, it feels like smoother in my mouth.
Oh wow!
Like it feels like I can taste the sweetness more. I want to look it up. I just want to look up how strong this cigar is real fast.
You should do that before you're like 5 minutes from now, like, Whoa.
No, I feel fine. Like it's weird because like before I sipped the wine, before I sipped the wine, before I sipped the wine, the cigar, it tasted like maybe like a medium to full cigar. But like now that I've sipped the wine, it kind of tastes like just a sweet mild, which is interesting. It's called The Judge. Let's see how strong it is.
Yeah, because it's weird. Those foods and stuff definitely impact the way things taste. Like sometimes I'd even have like a wine like this, and if I ate something weird like fruit or something really acidic, I would like taste it and be like, and so different foods can make wine taste better and make it taste worse. And I think that's the same with things like cigars or whatever you're smoking.
1 second. Cigar stats. Yes. That's a full body cigar right there.
It's a full cigar.
I was like, that's either medium to full or see some cigars. All right, some cigars you'll smoke them, and when you smoke a full body cigar, you maybe expect that peppery taste I was talking about earlier from like those like Ligero wrappers. That's like the dark cigar wrappers have a nice peppery taste to them. But sometimes you get a cigar like this, and you smoke it, and it's like, ooh, it's really sweet. It must not be that strong. Maybe it's just a medium. But it's deceptive. Because it's smooth, it's sweet, it's good. But that's a full body cigar that you're playing with. You don't even realize it until you go to stand up later. And you're like, oh wow, I was smoking a full body. I didn't even realize.
That's the problem with like really like alcohols people have at parties. They're like, wow, this alcohol tastes great. And they just like blah blah blah, and then before they know it, they're
exactly.
like, whoa.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, like those fruity alcohol drinks.
Yeah, you can't even taste the alcohol. You're like, it just tastes like fruit punch.
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard many stories. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink beer or anything. Like, I drink cider. I mean, I like ciders, but who doesn't, right? But like, I've never been a drinker, but I've always been a smoker. Like, I really, I've never smoked a cigarette. I've smoked weed maybe like less than a dozen times in my life. But I really, really, like, when I was, how old was I? I think it was like 19 or maybe 20. I'd always been a big fan of Lord of the Rings, and I always wanted to try pipe smoking. Like, old Toby, finest weed in the South Farthing. So I ordered a crappy, like, $15 plastic pipe off of Amazon, and I got my first bit of pipe tobacco from a pipe shop nearby, and I tried it, and I was like, this is really nice. And then I had my first cigar, I think... that's why I think I was 19 when I smoked my first pipe, because I think I smoked my first cigar when I was 20. 19, 20, I don't know, honestly. But I remember I was in college, and I think me and my friend Ben had finished our first semester, last semester. We had finished something, and we celebrated by smoking our first cigars together. I got so cigar sick. Because we didn't know, like, what we picked up. I mean, he didn't know either, so he just grabbed 2 cigars. I know for a fact, looking back, I know that was a full body cigar. Or it most likely was, because I remember it was a big, dark cigar. And a dark cigar, it's the dark leaf, it's called a Ligero. A Ligero leaf. And the reason, let me explain real fast how cigar strength works. Cigar or tobacco leaves at the bottom of the plant, those are your mild leaves. They don't get as much nutrients, they don't get as much sunlight, they don't have as much like power to them. A Ligero leaf is the one right at the top. And sometimes you will smoke a cigar, and it's just your standard full body cigar, and it has a single Ligero leaf or whatever. Then you can get like a La Flor Dominicana double Ligero.
Sounds like a Starbucks order.
That's a double full body cigar.
Can I get a double Americano, no soy whip latte?
Yeah, I don't know what you just said. But then, dude, there was this one cigar, because I really like full body cigars. I love them. I don't smoke them as much as I used to, but I still love them. And dude, I remember I was watching cigar reviews online, and I heard about it. The Jacob's Ladder Brimstone. A triple Ligero full body cigar. Never in my life. I actually have a video on my Nixxiom IRL channel of me smoking the cigar and reviewing it. Dude, I didn't get cigar sick. I mean, maybe I did, but like, I've never smoked a cigar, and like it had like a psychedelic effect on me. Dude, the room was spinning. Like I remember like sitting in my living room and I was looking at the carpet, and the carpet was going boom, and I was like, and I was like, oh, and I like would keep my eyes closed, and it felt like the room was spinning around me, and I was like, never have I had that with a cigar. I usually just feel like just chill, just relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it right now. I'm just like, oh, just chill.
Yeah.
I'm not even cigars in yet. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
It's actually interesting because I used to not even drink.
Were you a good dare boy?
I was a good dare boy.
Yeah, me too.
And so, I remember I was in one of my old vlogs. I said I even watched it on stream one time, and I was in my car, and I was like, "Drinking is retarded."
Yeah.
And then
retarded.
I was watching it, and I was like, "Yeah." As I like held my wine glass, and I was like, "Yeah." But I remember the first time I like actually had a drink, and it was at BlizzCon 2011. And I had the Thrall.
What's that?
It was Monster Energy drink, some blue shit, and vodka.
Oh, I love blue shit.
And
I think I had that. Well, I was there.
Really?
I had something with, it was a Red Bull and something.
They probably keep the same drinks. It's like they just
Yeah.
rotate them. They're probably, that's the Gromage Hellstream.
Yeah, I'll tell you that story in a second. Continue.
So I remember because it was me. I was talking to Trade Chat was there, her husband, and a couple other like old YouTube people, and my friend Dan. Dan was there. He was like Dan. And I remember I was like, all right, I'll have a drink. And then I was drinking it, and I never actually felt like buzzed before.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yeah. And I started just talking, and I was talking louder, and I was like, I feel pretty good. And everyone's like, you're talking kind of loud. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I think I am. And then I was like, oh, this is what it feels like. And that's the first time I drank a drink. But my tastes have evolved since then. But I don't know. It's some people drink to just drink, and I kind of enjoy it as like a chill out thing. Like even if I'm like streaming, it's like have a glass of wine, you like farm some mounts. You're like, all right. Like I'm never like I'm gonna drink the whole bottle, man, or like
Yeah.
I'm gonna even like half a bottle. The only time I'll drink half a bottle is if I'm like doing a mega stream like Banjo Kazooie, and I'm like, this is like a special occasion. I'm gonna get like another glass and then a little more, and then which isn't good because then I end up talking about life.
You don't like talking about life?
I do, but chat doesn't. I remember I was we're in the Click Clock Wood.
Tell us about your feelings, Crendor.
How does that make you feel?
How does it make you feel?
We're in the Click Clock Wood, and I was like, dude, when I had my gallbladder out, or no, I think I was about to have gallbladder surgery, and I was like, I've had anesthesia once, and it was for my endoscopy. Actually, no, twice, because I had my tooth pulled down. And I was like, dude, it's crazy. Like, you're just there, and they're like, count backwards, and you're like, and you wake up, and it's like, when you sleep, you know how when you sleep, it kind of feels like some time's gone by?
Yeah.
But when you go out with anesthesia, it's like, you're back.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, you close your eyes and blinked, and you're back, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's what, like, dying's like.
Yeah.
And chat was like, Crendor, please, no. And I was like, dude, it's like, what if you die and you wake up 5,000 years from now and they're like, we've revived your cells and we need you for the robot apocalypse? It would be like, and then you'd be like, shit, dude, I'm in the robot apocalypse.
Yeah. Dude, I've been under anesthesia twice, and it's just like that. People are always like so freaked out, and it's like, dude, no, like you get in there, just like you said, they put a mask over my face. This was the first time. And they were like, okay, all right, Mr. Nixxiom, show us how deep you can breathe. And I'm like, yeah, I'm breathing deep. And he's like, okay, I want you to like, count back from 3. And I was like, do it real slow with deep breaths. And I was like, all right. I was like, 3, 2, 1. And then I like opened my eyes and I was like, so when are you going to actually like inject me with this stuff? And then like there was a lady next to me and she was like, oh, sweetheart, you're done. And I was like, what? And then I was like, slowly my senses started activating more. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in a different room. It's instant.
It's like crazy.
Less than a millisecond and it's over.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's like you just jumped forward in time. You know, there's no sense that time passed or anything.
Yeah, that's the craziest part.
Yeah.
So, it was a very existential thing for me.
Oh yeah.
Just experiencing that and being like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
But like, it's not painful. It's nothing crazy. Just like if that's what it is. It's...
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your life thoughts.
No problem.
Your feelings. You're more than welcome to talk about your life on my cigar show.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else I've talked about like that.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm already feeling this cigar.
Nice.
It's not very flavorful. Like it had a bit of a sweet taste in the beginning. Now it's like a very just kind of neutral, just smooth taste. Not much to say about it. It's just kind of like, you know, it's definitely one of those deceptive full bodies. If I gave this to you and I was like, try this, you'd probably smoke it and be like, no, it doesn't taste like anything. And I'm like, it's not strong, it's not mild, it just tastes like I'm smoking air.
Did kind of smell like a barn.
Yeah. And then you'll be like, that's pretty cool. And then you'll like keep puffing it. 5 minutes later, you'll be like, whoa. You don't realize it.
Oh my God, it just reminded me with my gallbladder. Because normally you have that experience, right, of like count down. But I remember with my gallbladder, I was like anxious, and then I'd been, I only slept like 5 hours or whatever, so I was kind of like, ugh. And I was laying there, and he's like, hey, you anxious? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, do you want something for that? And I was like, yeah. And then they're like, all right. So I was just laying there. I remember being like, all right, I wonder when it's going to hit. And then I woke up later. And then after I was like, I think it was like a day later, I was like, wasn't I supposed to, I told Toaster Woman and my mom, I was like, wasn't I supposed to like, you know, like talk to the surgeon? And they were like, you did. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I was out of it. So like apparently I was talking to them and like they were wheeling me away and I was like,
oh wow.
like wait, and I was like, I don't remember any of it. So whatever they gave me, it was like some crazy stuff.
You didn't tell me that story.
Yeah, it was a crazy story.
Dude, I remember like when I got my gallbladder out, I was in so much pain.
Really?
Like, I had a massive gallbladder attack. I had been in pain for like almost half of a day. And I'm not talking like, just a little bit of pain. I'm talking agonizing pain. Like my girlfriend at the time was with me and she, like the doctors were being kind of slow with like helping me and she was getting pissed. She actually went and yelled at one of the nurses. She was like, when is someone going to come see this guy? Like he's like in so much pain. So they came in eventually, blah, 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 and they gave me morphine.
Oh yeah.
And it like didn't help at all.
So I had morphine too. It didn't help.
Yeah, it didn't help one bit. And then they were like, and then like came in and they gave me more. Didn't help at all. And then they gave me this like anti-inflammatory like stuff. They gave me that. Instant relief. Because like when your gallbladder is having a gallbladder attack, it swells up. Right, and that's why the morphine doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But that anti-inflammatory, and then you feel it wearing off. Like it's like you feel it like swelling again. And I was like, give me more of that stuff. Give me more of that stuff. And they're like, we can't give it to you for like another hour. I'm like, oh God. So they just like gave me like more morphine and I was like, it doesn't do anything. It just makes me feel really high. But I'm like, I'm still in pain. And so like, then finally they gave it to me. And the thing is like, I was talking on stream one time and people were like, were you scared going into like the surgery? And it's like, dude, honestly, when you're in that much pain or you got something wrong, you're just like, get me in there. Like you can't get me in there fast enough. It's like, it'd be like if you had like a big splinter in your finger and you're like, dude, you can't pull it out fast enough. Like just rip it out.
It's actually how I was with my toenails.
Oh really?
Because my toenails, like at first they were like inflamed. I always tell everybody like, I got my toenails removed, but they grew back. So they like this part of the skin. Like if you look at your thumb, if it's your toe, the nail bed, so like this part, it just, I don't know if it was like my shoes were too big or small, but it kept pushing. So my nails like pushed back and it made this all get inflamed and infected.
Yeah.
And so it hurt for a while. Like, all right, it kind of hurts, and then it got bad. Like, it got like I had to wear flip flops. I couldn't wear shoes, and then it was like, I remember I hit my toe on like went like that, and I stubbed it, and I had to like run it underwater. I was like, ah! I was like freaking out, and I was like, I gotta see somebody. So I saw the foot doctor, and he was like, oh my god, like, yeah, those are not good. And so he's like, put you on this antibiotic. So I go on the antibiotic, doesn't do anything. And he's like, well, we might have to remove him. But it was 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. So I'm waiting. And they're like, I'm like, I want to get him off now. And so I go back on the, I think it was whenever he got back from it. And I was like, they're worse. And he was like, oh my god, yeah, they're worse. We're going to have to take those off right now. And normally people would be like, oh my god, like, were you like, well, that's crazy. And I was like, rip them off, man.
Yeah.
Just get them off. Like, I was in some, I remember when he got them off and wrapped them up, and I was like, it's done. I'm good again.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a new life, essentially.
Wow. It's like you hit the reset button.
Yeah. And that was the same year I got my gallbladder out.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what a fun year. And that's why I started going to the gym.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be
That way your
sick
toenails
anymore.
can be stronger.
Yeah. Everything can be stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Life.
Yeah. I'm pretty chill right now.
Me too.
I admit. I'm pretty like...
I think that's why when I was younger, I feel like my anxiety was kind of like, I gotta get bad at times. It wasn't like, now it's like you gotta, I don't know. I feel like you get older and you get more pain.
Has your anxiety affected you in a negative way as a content creator? Has there ever been like any like obstacles you've had to overcome?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, me too.
Like-
I have anxiety.
Like, I've always had anxiety really bad, and especially as a content creator, like having to go to conventions, just having to travel alone was like bad. Like, I've canceled trips before, like right before the trip, like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I don't want to do it. And so I would just cancel it. I would like waste like $400. Like, I don't care.
Dude, you gotta do solo camping. Like, I know it might sound crazy, but dude, like I was I might have talked about this yesterday, but no, I was talking to my mom about it. Maybe I talked to you about it. So this might be a repeat for you, but I'm saying it for the audience. But it's like, oh, I think it was my mom, and it was like, oh, like, why do you go solo camping? Yeah. Like, why do you do it? And I'm like, because it's scary. Like, like, you're completely out of your element. Like, you're alone, like, in the middle of the woods, in the dark, like, pitch black. Then all you've got is a fire and maybe a knife or, like, a spear or something, if you've made that for yourself. All you have is you. That's it. And it's like, it's really hard to describe to people that have never done it, that don't do solo camping, but it teaches you how to trust yourself. It shows you that you are capable, that you're okay. As long as you've got you, you're fine. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I think my problem with that, though, is I'm not really afraid of something like that. I'm more afraid of trusting other people. Like, if I'm going on a plane, I'm like, pilot's going to mess up.
Okay.
So it's more like that, where I'm like, something else out of my control is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my issue.
It's the what if that plagues the mind.
Yeah.
It's the worst two words that you can utter in your mind is what if.
Like, even when I have insomnia, your thoughts, when you're laying there in bed, you're not like, all right, let's just wait. Start like, what if I can't sleep? What if I don't sleep tonight? What if I'm just up all night and I can't sleep? And then your heart's just like,
yeah.
You're just like, what if I can't sleep? And then you start freaking out.
You should seriously try it at some point. Just be like, oh, just see how it affects you. Because the first time I went solo camping, it was terrifying. I was terrified. And then the second time I went, I was like, wasn't so bad. And by the third time I went solo camping, I was like, dude, this is my element. Like, being in like, my comfort zone is being out of my comfort zone. When I'm in my comfort zone, I hate it. I get depressed. I get uncomfortable.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I like it. Like, well, it's like, I mean, sure, like, I like being in my comfort zone. I like being in my house. I like being around my books and all that stuff. But it's like, that's not where man thrives. Like, that's not where you see your potential. So like, you know, I like that's why I go solo camping, or I'll try like new kinds of content on YouTube to see what sticks. I'll try different games on Twitch. Like, I just play around, and maybe it's not the wisest thing to do from like a business standpoint, which I certainly am gonna change that going forward. I'm just gonna like, Nixxiom, just MMO content, and stuff like this every now and then. But like, I don't know. It just it's weird. Just you just learn how to like trust yourself, you know.
I've definitely gotten better with it.
That's good.
Because I mean, when I first went to that BlizzCon a long time ago, it was like I was freaking out. And now like I can travel. Usually my build up to the travel anxiety is before I get to the airport. And once I get to the airport and like get through security, I'm like fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right, I'm committed to this now. So whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And I'm like fine after that. It's kind of weird.
See, I've asked Crendor like questions before, like because you do like interviews with like authors and like Blizzard devs and stuff, and I'm like, man, how do you do this? Like, cause like to me, like I remember like before I actually got to like know you better, you struck me as like the most like confident person I knew. Like, oh yeah, this dude, he'll talk to anybody, he'll go anywhere, he travels, goes to conventions, he like talks in front of panels and stuff. Like, oh, it's like anxiety is not even a thing. But
oh yeah, deep down
but deep down
I was bad.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like I'm like the chill sloth guy, right?
Yeah.
But I have that appearance, but deep down it's like twisting and turning.
It's one of the things I'm actually thankful for, like doing the YouTube content, like kind of like putting myself out there a little bit, because I like sometimes I talk to people like friends of mine that, you know, they don't do what me and you do, and they there's regular normal people like whatever, and you know, they have like their anxieties and whatnot and blah blah blah. But I feel that by streaming on Twitch in front of a lot of people, or making content and kind of like, hey, this is who I am, I'm expressing myself, here's my machinima, here's my mountain biking video, what do you think? It's sort of like, I don't know, it's like it's like every video, every stream, every interview, every journey, even driving up here to see you, it's like, you're kind of confronting that anxiety a bit. Yeah. I'm a little bit up there right now, by the way, just so you know. I'm just a little bit like, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to talk about like deep philosophical things, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you go back and watch my BlizzCon 2011, you can see just how awkward I was. Because I was very like, I blinked a lot. That was the first thing I did, which was like an anxious twitch, just like the...
Yeah, you blink, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was all rave in my eyes. And then the other thing I did was I just didn't know how to like interact with humans. I was like a nerd.
Yeah.
And so like I never really did a lot of partying or social things, so it was just like, hello. I am Crendor. And just like very stiff. Well, like you just kind of, like now I'm just very chill, like relaxed, like body language is kind of chill. But like a lot of anxiety can still be in there, but like I've learned how to kind of cope with a lot of the issues I had in the past. And so like one thing, like interviewing people, a lot of people are like, oh man, how do you talk to all these like authors or like big YouTubers and streamers and stuff? And it's a lot of like, well, I don't go into it being like, I hope they like me.
Yeah.
Because I go into it being like, I want to learn about them.
Okay.
And so when I go in it like that, I'm not going to like talk to them and be, oh man, you should watch my one video with 3 million views. I'm Crendor. You know, I'm going into it being like, you know, let's hear some of your stories, or how'd you get into this? And then if they start talking about it, and I'm like, yo, that's cool. Like, tell me more about that. And you like keep digging more into their life, because that's why they're there. That's why people are watching, because they want to learn about that person. And, you know, they're probably watching because they're like, oh, I like the way Crendor talks to people. And that's like what it boils down to. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I like doing.
Yeah, I think it's actually a good piece of advice, because I find that I think a lot of people, whether you be like some online person or anybody, people kind of live in this mentality that they're like, oh, I got to be friends with everybody. I got to like impress everybody. Like everyone needs to love me. No, they don't. You can have enemies. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, people that don't like you. I'm like, your videos are garbage. You're not funny. You're dumb. You're lazy. You're fat.
Nobody wouldn't say that about me.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like instead of going into it with the mentality of like, oh, let me make this person like me, instead just be like, let me go into it and just hear what this person has to say.
Yeah, and most of the time, that's all anybody wants. They want someone to listen to them,
Yeah.
and not like listen to them, like listen. Because anybody can just listen and be like, right?
Yeah.
But like actually listen, and then be like, oh, like you like chocolate. What do you like about chocolate? What type of chocolate do you like? And then they're like, oh, I love dark chocolate because my mother gave it to me. And you're like, wow, when did your mother like first give you dark chocolate? And like, oh, back in like Germany when I was 5 years old. And you're like, oh, you grew up in Germany?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
just go from there. Yeah.
you keep going down, because a lot of the mistakes people make is like they have a sheet and they have their questions, like 20 questions I want to ask whoever, and they're like, so do you like chocolate? And they're like, yeah, I like chocolate. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
Like, well, this isn't even a conversation. It's just a list of mundane, dull questions.
Have you ever like had a feeling like as you've gotten older, like I feel like, you know, you have your childhood, you know, like your first like, you know, whatever number of years like in your life. Then maybe you hit like your young adult years or like your beginning adult years, like maybe like in your early 20s, like whatever.
Right.
And you're kind of like nostalgic for the past. You're like, oh man, like I wish I was a kid again, like reading Harry Potter and like, you know, like watching Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. And you're like really nostalgic for the past. But then eventually, like, I don't know if you've experienced this or if anybody in the comment sections experienced it, but you kind of like get into this mentality where like as you get older, you start to like maybe take things, like you're mentioning anxiety, like you take things from like your childhood. Maybe you're shy, maybe you struggle with public speaking, maybe anxiety, and you start like confronting them in your adult life, and you start like eliminating them. Maybe not getting rid of them, but you're handling them.
Yeah.
Like you were anxious before, but now you can do all the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then eventually you kind of get into this like mentality where you're like, man, like I love this. Like I don't want to be a kid anymore. I want to like I want to keep growing like as a person. I want to keep like learning more things and seeing what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
The first time I experienced that, when I was in high school, I always skipped run day because we always had those like
oh yeah,
those like federal fitness things where it was like, oh, you gotta run a mile. And we're gonna check see how fast you can run it. And I was like a fat WoW playing kid, right? So I'm not gonna run. So every time those days came up, oh, I was sick. I would do everything in my power to convince mom and dad that I was sick. I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, and so I never did it. And I was like, man, I hate running. And then about maybe like 2 years ago, I remember, I was losing weight and like whatever. And this is when I dropped like 209 pounds or whatever. When I was like well over like 300 back in the day. And I was talking to my Discord community from like my Twitch streams. And we were talking about like doing like fitness like challenges. And so I created the 7-day run challenge where it was like, oh, I want to like you just run every day for 7 days every other day. So it's like a 2-week thing. And the goal is every time you run, you want to run a little bit faster and a little bit further. And in 7 days, first day I couldn't even run like a quarter of a mile. And on day 7, I was able to run 5 miles without stopping. God. And I was like, wow, like that's insane. And then like my friend Jonathan, for example, like just before I came up here to see you, 2 days before, he just did it for fun. He did a 42-mile marathon just around where like he lives. And so I just like, he didn't even make a post on Facebook about it. He just mentioned it. We hung out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go on this run. It's going to be like 40 something miles. It was supposed to be 40 and he ran 42 just because why not? And then, I'm like, man, I ran 5 miles and I'm like, that's amazing. And then like Jonathan's over here running like 40 plus miles and no stopping, just going. I'm like, that's crazy. Like what you're capable of once you put your mind to it.
It's kind of how I felt with like the gym. It's like I'd never been to the gym really. The only time I was at the gym was like high school. And so I go to the gym and I'm like, all right, let's see what I can do. And like I did the program where they like test your fitness and everything like that, and my strength was like almost the lowest you could be. Like I was not strong whatsoever, but I knew that.
Okay.
And so a lot of people might be like, you know, whatever. I don't want to go in there and be embarrassed while I'm like lifting my like 5-pound weights and like the chest press or do all that. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to do it because I wanted to get healthy. And so I didn't care if anyone was going to be like, this guy's weak or whatever. And so you start and you're just like, all right, do 5. Then you do like 8. And you do like 10. And you're like, dude, I doubled my strength. And then you're like, and I do 15. And then I do 20.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and now I'm just like lifting the like 45-pound weights, like doo doo doo.
Yeah.
Just like putting them on. Now I do like 55 on each side, just like doo doo. And so now
with a bench press.
I do the chest press machine.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I do
yeah.
55 on each side. Then when I do the bench press, I only do like 80, 85, but I don't have a spotter. So
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm just doing it because I'm like I want to go over and be like,
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things where like you just watch yourself get stronger and stronger until you get to a point where like, dude, look how far I've like made it.
Yeah.
And you like look back at your past and you're like, I used to be like the weakest person ever. Like my grandma could probably beat me in an arm wrestling match. And it's like now I'm like probably slightly above average, which is like, that's great. I'll take that.
Yeah, dude.
So.
Yeah, I think, yeah. You know, you kind of go in there with the mentality of, I don't know, if you're worried about like going to the gym or doing anything and you're like, oh, but what if, there's that word again, what if,
Yep.
or words, but what if people make fun of me or what if someone looks at me? It's like, I didn't realize you were going to the gym for that guy.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I'm going to write this book, but what if that guy says it's stupid? I didn't realize you wrote the book for that guy.
Or streaming. What if someone comes in your stream and like, this guy's an idiot?
I didn't realize you were streaming for that guy. I thought you were doing it for you.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing it. I thought you were going to the gym to make you better.
Yeah. Like when I made YouTube videos at the start, I made them because I wanted more funny WoW videos. Like that's what I wanted. I was like, nobody's making them. So I was like, I'm just going to make them for myself.
And you did.
And maybe some other people want to. So I did. And then, you know, here we are. 11 years later. Shit, dude.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Well, we're over an hour here. So maybe we can like call it here and chill out here a bit more.
Yeah.
Whatever. And but we'll just call it here for now and end the recording.
Yeah. Next time we can talk about the crazy adventures we had, because we had some crazy adventures.
Dude, oh my god. Like, yeah, stay tuned for more, because, like, dude, we were on a train. Listen to him. We were on a train, and it was like the Council of the Criminals. Like, it was like all these gang members just, like, assembled in the cart thing that we were in.
The thing is, like, I've been on the train, like, a lot. Like, I've probably been on a train, like, you know, a bunch of times. This is the first time I've ever, like, been in a cart, and there's just, like, someone talking about how they were in a gang, and then someone else is like, yeah, I was in a gang, and then some dude gets off, or, like, gets on the train, he's like, yo, I just got out of jail, and we're like, oh.
And the other dude's like, yeah, dude, I spent 20 years in jail. He's like, wow, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, man, I just stabbed a dude in the neck the other day and killed him. They haven't caught me yet. And we're just like, all right.
Like, and it's like, oh, I think this is our stop.
Yeah,
like, and I was like, yeah, we're just moving train cars.
Yeah.
Because he started being like, yo, you got like 50 cents to like the other person? We're like, nah, I don't got it. And the other guy's like, yeah, I got like 60 cents. I'm like, they're going to ask us for money. And then they're going to be like, where? Dude. I was like freaking out.
It was really...
That's the guy who was like, yo, I like stabbed a dude, but like, then they're like, I was having these bad dreams, man. And then they were like, yo, just take these drugs. And then I got addicted to the drugs. And I was like,
crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, great experience.
We met a bunch of gang members. I met a dude that was talking to a urinal. Bow, bow, bang, or whatever he was screaming at the urinal. I can tell that story real fast. I walked into a bathroom, okay? It's just me. You know, he's waiting outside. I walked into this bathroom. I don't remember what the guy was saying. What was it? It was like bow, bow, bang or something like that.
Bow, bang.
Whatever. Like, I walk into this bathroom, and I'm like, this dude, I hear him go like, bow, bow, bang. And I'm like, walk in the bathroom, and there's this dude like in the corner, and he's just looking at a urinal, and he's going like, bow, bow, bang, bow, bow, bang, bang, bow, bow, bang. And then and I'm like peeing, you know, I'm just like, and then he's like, sir, what'd you think of the presidential debate last night? And I was like, I looked over at him, and he's not looking at me. He's looking at the urinal still. He's looking at the urinal. He's like, what'd you think about the presidential debate? That was crazy. Bow, bow, bang, bang. And then he just like walked past me and walked out. Bang, bang, bang. And I was like, I was peeing. I was like, yeah, dude.
I gotta be a great Twitch streamer.
He would. Dude, the guy was on something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude, we've met some colorful people the past like 2 days. It's been great.
Very interesting people.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it more later though.
Yeah.
So